Garbage time. We're back. Weekly show. I'm glad we got one in this week. Didn't know if it was going to happen. Here with Chooch. Not the normal intro, though, because of how elated we are that, one, Kate is not here. I'm excited. I'm sick of him. And two, Kyler Murray just signed with the Vikings. We kind of all thought this was going to happen. League minimum to make other moves. And then he's getting paid by the Cardinals, whatever his salary would be this year. Chooch, you're the Vikings fan, the Vikings insider of the podcast. What do you think about this? You obviously have some feelings.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just unbelievably excited, really, is the main feeling right now. What an unbelievable just story. Kyler's grew up a childhood Vikings fan. There's a couple interview clips of him saying, yeah, man, Vikings are always my team. They always have been. So just in that aspect, it's really cool. Besides that, man, I mean, how often do you get a number one overall talent that has put up serious numbers in this league? 20,000 pass yards, 3,000 rushing yards. Only other two players to do that, I believe, are Josh Allen and Cam Newton. Just an unbelievable talent that you're getting on a minimum contract for a one-year deal. I mean, it's just the perfect storm for the Vikings, really. Came into this offseason, so many questions. Obviously, nobody knew. Is the McCarthy era over? Which I'll talk about also. I don't think it is, but what were the options going to be? A lot of people saying Mac Jones trade. Geno Smith was rumored a lot. Even Jacoby Brissett was getting some conversations, and it's like all those would have been options for sure, but I just don't think this is a rare opportunity, and I can't feel anything but excitement. I think Kyler's an awesome player. I think he's an excellent leader. I think anyone that has character questions about a guy that went number one overall in the NFL draft and a number 9 in the MLB draft, anyone that's questioning his work ethic and his character is insane. And he's been able to play some really high level football, and I'm so excited for what he's going to be able to do with O'Connell.
I said this last week, in my opinion, and I believe you said yours, this is the most interesting quarterback prospect, which he isn't a prospect, but prospect of being on a new team and being with the Vikings, that they've had under KOC, where it's like you know what you're getting with Kirko. You know what you got with Darnold. Like, you kind of knew what you wanted him to do when he came in. JJ, we never really got there, but at the end of the day, you know the game plan with JJ. Kyler, it's like the run just opens up. Everything opens up on the field.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't had a quarterback this dynamic in Minnesota. I don't even know, in terms of everything they could do on a football field, probably Fran Tarkenton, but I mean, even just the level of talent, I would say, as ability to be a playmaker, Dante Culpepper, probably. The Vikings just haven't had a ton of... Kirk Cousins was awesome in Minnesota. I don't want to take away anything that he did, but, this is just such a rare opportunity. Kyler's incredible. I'm so happy we were able to get our hands on a guy like that. This team is ready to win now, and realistically, that's what it came down to with McCarthy, right? He put some good games together on the back end of last year, but at the end of the day, this team's ready to go. O'Connell, our GM just got fired. Who knows what's up next if we have another disappointing season? I know O'Connell's in high regards around the league and fans, but you got to win in the NFL to maintain a reputation and to maintain your occupation. And it was clear that they have questions about JJ being able to do that right now, and I don't think it's over for him. I think the timeline's shifting. I don't even want to get into the antics of, what happens this year if Kyler plays really well, and then we have to do another free agency thing with Darnold, and I don't even want to think about that. I just want to enjoy this signing in the moment. I don't know if JJ McCarthy's ever going to play a snap for the Vikings again. Frankly, I don't care. I want production at the quarterback position. I don't care which one of the two I get it from. And I'm really excited, man. And I'm really happy for Justin Jefferson, honestly.
I was about to say that sometimes in the NFL, you just can't wait, even if you believe in a guy like JJ. If you have the chance, you have the roster, you kind of got to go out and get that talent, that generational talent. Athletically, he's a generational talent, right? He's a little small. He has his problems. We all know that. Obviously, he didn't do much with the Cardinals when it comes to team success, but, I mean, you got to go out and get him. I completely agree with this move, especially for the minimum. Now you can make other moves, Justin Jefferson's got to be jumping up and down somewhere.
That's the thing, man. We were cap strapped too, like bad coming into this offseason because we made so many free agency signings last year, a bunch of which didn't pan out. We signed Javon Hargrave and Jonathan Allen, and they both just got cut for like big multi-year deals. We like this was a saving grace, man. I don't understand how good things don't happen to the Vikings like this. They really don't. Good things don't happen. This is luck that is like unheard of, like for any team. Honestly, this is just and regardless of how he plays, like maybe it won't work here, but still, the opportunity is crazy.
I think it's a little bit less, or like it's a little bit different than luck. Just having KOC. I mean, the Vikings just, sticking with him, which you wouldn't get rid of him with what he's done with the quarterback play. And, they've had successful years. Obviously, they lost to the Rams 2 years ago. But, I mean, they've had successful years, 13 wins, 14 wins. I think it's less luck and just more just trusting KOC and people wanting to play for KOC. One thing I wanted to bring up, I don't want to talk about the Vikings all podcast. That's for you to do. I think it's funny, and I'm not saying this is Kyler, right, because you said he said it in interviews and stuff. Somehow, every time a player goes to a new team or they get drafted to a team, some old photo shows up of them in that team's jersey, and somehow they've always been a lifelong fan. And you might have the receipts with Kyler. I'm not saying you don't, but like there's a picture of Wemby who, he was like 6'3" at 12 years old, whatever it was, and he has a Spurs jersey on, and I'm just like, they always end up showing up. Like, it makes no sense to me. Jokic had a Nuggets shirt on, and he was over in Slovenia. Like, I think it's so funny how that happens.
It is. I mean, the Wemby one is like, oh, okay, so you were 12 and you had a Tim Duncan jersey on in, like, 2012. Like, okay, yeah, everyone did, bro.
Yeah. No, you're right with that, but then, like, you'll see articles about it saying he's always manifested the Spurs, and it's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I know. That is true. The Kyler thing, I mean, I think he said it. I don't know how true it is, but I'm pretty sure that is true.
Yeah, no, I believe it. And I believe that most of these stories are true. It's just kind of funny how it works out that way. Moving on, Kyler, W. I think it's awesome, even if it doesn't work out. I guess we'll segue into the NFL because obviously this is one of the biggest times in the NFL. It's not even the NFL season, in the NFL offseason, I guess. We'll start off, Max Crosby. Obviously, the trade got rescinded. The Ravens didn't like what they saw in the medical report, whatever that was. And then they went out, so I was worried. I was like, dang, like, that was going to be such a huge addition. And then they went out and got Trey Hendrickson on, like, a record-breaking deal. What do you think about that deal and, I guess, the Crosby medical stuff?
The Max Crosby trade falling through was wild, just, like, out of nowhere. I guess it's something on the medical report. I'm assuming we'll find out at some point. But we don't know yet. It was just really weird, and I'm pissed that it fell through for the Ravens because I really liked that deal for them, and I would have loved for them to have the 14th pick in this draft to get somebody else to help Mendoza. That would have been fun. But from the Ravens' end of it, I think they made out better because I think I was talking about this last time we were on when you brought up Max going to the Ravens. Like, the trade for him, they just need a lot, man. Like, they don't just need a pass rusher. They need interior D-line. They need O-line desperately. They lost starting safety in free agency. Like, their linebacker play last year was poor. Like, the Ravens need a lot. And I think being able to sign Hendrickson and keep your draft picks, they've always been a historically good team at drafting, so I like it overall as a picture for them better with Hendrickson, although I think Hendrickson is a pretty flawed player, and I thought he was pretty bad when he played last year. But he was also hurt, so I don't know what to really take in from that. But realistically, like, Trey Hendrickson's a pass rusher. He's not great against the run. Crosby's just great every down. But I'll take the sacrifice because they need to draft some guys in the trenches and maybe get Lamar a serious weapon, especially now that Likely left. He loved Likely.
Yeah, no, that's going to be really interesting. A thing I saw, we'll obviously talk about some of the other offseason moves. I was listening to the Bill Simmons show, and right now on FanDuel, which is very early, so other moves are going to be made, I think the Ravens have the highest over-under in the AFC when it comes to wins. I think they're at 11.5. And what do you think about that? Like, coming off the season they just had where it's like, Lamar was injured, but he's always injured or sick or something like that. And they're coming off 8 wins, and then now they have them at 11.5, which isn't a crazy number, but they're the highest in the AFC. So they're predicting them to win the AFC. Do you think that's crazy, or do you think, I guess it's warranted because they have Lamar?
No, I think them winning the AFC is crazy with their current roster. I mean, they have Lamar Jackson, but it's just like not even close to good enough. They need to make really good draft picks. I won't believe it. I mean, they can make other free agency signings, I guess, still, but I'm not going to believe it until like I see who they draft and if those rookies make an impact in the first couple weeks. That's crazy. No, I think that's insane. I think the win number like comes staunchly from them playing in a division that might be free eats, because I personally think the Steelers are trending downward. We don't even know who's going to be playing quarterback for them next year. The Browns are free eats, although the Browns always play them well. The Bengals like still don't have a defense, and they just lost Trey Hendrickson. So I think that has a lot to do with the win number. Them winning the AFC number, that's crazy.
Yeah, I thought so too. Just coming off of last year, it's like you're banking, if they're going to win the AFC, you're banking on Lamar being healthy, which, I mean, in a perfect world, we all hope he is, but it's just not that realistic. And you're also banking on, another year of Derrick Henry. He's getting older. They lost Likely. Their weapons are still like, you know what I mean? I don't know, that it's not convincing to me.
No, their weapons aren't good. People just need to stop dancing around that with the Ravens, because I feel like they have been for a while. Like, Mark Andrews isn't dynamic as a pass catcher anymore. You lost Likely. Zay Flowers sucks, man. I don't care how many yards he puts up. He drops every ball in leverage situations. Bateman's not good. They have Derrick Henry, but he's not a pass catcher, so.
Yeah, so maybe I was tiptoeing around it just because I
know.
I don't know.
We got to stop, right? At some point, we got to hold them accountable.
At some point, they just need to get that X factor. What other teams, what other moves kind of impressed you? I obviously saw a couple. I saw a couple of the quarterbacks. I saw a lot of $1 million deals, which was really interesting to me. I think Tua signed for $1 million. I think Geno signed for $1 million, or the vet minimum, whatever. It was just pretty interesting to me. What other moves caught your eye?
I thought a bunch of the Raiders things that they did were great. They signed Jalen Naylor, former Viking, to a 3-year deal. He was unironically our best weapon for a lot of the year. He didn't end up with a crazy amount of yards, but he made every big catch. He led us in touchdowns from pass catchers. So I thought that was great. They signed Linderbaum to a market smashing center deal. No one's ever came within, I think, $10 million of making that at the center position. That being said, I don't really care. They have a ton of money. Linderbaum's amazing. Why not? Just take a swing. They signed Quay Walker and Nakobe Dean, who are good linebackers. I don't think either of them are great. They both signed them to pretty good money deals. But they're both athletic and they both could move well in space. And I think that gives you a floor. So I basically liked everything that they did. They brought back Malcolm Kuntz, who was one of their priority free agents. He's a good pass rusher. They signed Kwity Paye. He sucks, but besides that, I thought they did a good job. I'm trying to think of other deals.
Well,
Geno Smith.
real quick,
Geno Smith's fun and interesting, but continue.
Real quick, I just wanted to say, people are kind of mad. They're like, the Raiders aren't there yet. Why are they giving this much money to a center? The biggest downfall of these young quarterbacks is the offensive line play. We see it every year where it's you get drafted to a terrible situation. If you get drafted to a terrible situation with no weapons, but they have a line, at least you have a chance, right? It's you need a line, you need that basis, you need to have time in the pocket. So I don't really care if they overpaid for a center. They have to protect they're going to take Mendoza. You have to protect Mendoza. I love that move. And the weapons will just pan out. You still have Genti at running back. You could plug and play receivers. We've seen it year in, year out. You just said they got Naylor, so I like those moves too, for sure. So you were about to talk about Geno?
Yeah, going off of what you just said first, and also when you have that much money and you're an NFL team, you spend it. You don't just let it sit there. There's literally no reason. But beyond that, like, I don't think people understand, like, these coaches and GMs and assistants, they have jobs. This is their job. Like, they need to try to win or else they will get fired. Like, Pete Carroll he should have been fired this last offseason. He's not going to come back. Well, they fired him. But Clint Kubiak is their coach now. He's not just going to want to walk into a scenario where they're going to win 2 wins the first year, because then you're on the hot seat. Like, these guys have to try to win. I don't understand why people always say that. And I'm not for just signing bad guys. Like, there's teams that did. I actually think they did pretty good.
Me too. I'm with you.
Yeah, Geno Smith, I think it's a good signing for the Jets. A guy that has played behind bad offensive lines the last, 6 years that he's been starting, or whenever he started starting. What was that, 5 years now? Behind horrible O-lines the entire time. Bringing him into a team with the Jets with established wide receiver Garrett Wilson. You tagged Breece Hall, so you still have a pretty good run game. A fantastic offensive line. Geno could deliver the ball, man. I think this was a weird season, but I think he's a perfect guy to get on a budget. The Jets, I know that they're probably in tank mode per se, but they have too many guys on their team that are decent enough to where they can't tank really. And I think Geno could come in, make Garrett Wilson happy, get that man a 1,300-yard season, bro. He deserves it so bad. In the Jets, I'm not going to go into any of them individually, but they signed a bunch of defensive players that I also think are pretty good. So I thought they did pretty well too.
Yeah, I think Cade said last week, you can't just keep losing every year. You need to build a culture. You need to bring in guys who have won, which Geno Smith, I mean, he hasn't won anything big, but he won in Seattle. Last year was rough. Like we said, the offensive line wasn't great. But yeah, I like that signing. I think he's a perfect bridge quarterback just to, feed your guys.
Yeah. I wanted to propose the Kenneth Walker signing. Interesting deal. They gave him $15 million a year. I think they needed a running back because they have a pretty good O-line, but they've had no semblance of a down-to-down run game. And now they won't even be tempted to take Jeremiah Love if he's there at 9 because they have way too many roster roles. They can't afford it. What did you think of the Kenneth Walker signing? How moved were you by Kenneth Walker?
I'm moved. I'm moved. Okay, I don't want to sound negative or glass half empty, right? I don't want to. Is he worth that? Right? It's he had a great playoffs, right? But throughout the season, the regular season, obviously he was splitting carries with Charbonnet, so it wasn't just him getting all the run. I think the Super Bowl really gave him such a big pay upgrade, and he's a great player, so whatever. But I do think they're kind of having that oh, look at him in the Super Bowl, look at him in the playoffs. And obviously you want to play your best in the playoffs and everything, but I think that kind of blinded them a little bit to where I don't think he's going to be he could swing some games, don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's going to give you 3 more wins. You know what I mean? I just don't see him doing that. But he is great. I love K9, but I thought it was a little interesting when I saw it and everyone posting about it, and they've needed a running back for a long time. I just wasn't as moved.
I definitely agree with your sentiment there. I mean, I made that top 5 players in the Super Bowl video, and a bunch of people were getting on me in the comments on, I think, YouTube because I didn't put him in there and then he went off. Look, I think Kenneth Walker's a really good running back. He's not elite. He's not top 5. Anyone who thinks that or wants to say that now after the Super Bowl is they're out of line. That's just not true. He hasn't put up those numbers. He's not a good pass protector. He's not a good pass catcher. There's multiple facets that come to being a running back rather than just running the football. But that one skill he is very good at, and he's as good as almost anybody at strictly running the ball. But I do think he's getting a little overrated after the Super Bowl. So I think you're right.
Yeah, I was just when I saw the signing, I'm dang, they just got the Super Bowl MVP, and I'm I mean, that was one game. And he had the game of his life. And like I said, that's when you want to have the game of your life. Shout out to him. He deserved the MVP. Awesome stuff. I wasn't as moved as everyone else, I don't think.
I would absolutely concur with that.
I'm trying to think. One of the biggest moves, I think we got to talk about this. Tyler Bass pay cut, 4.9 million to 1.5 million. Such a vet. I was joking, but I wanted to open up with that, but then Kyler happened. Because I saw like 3 articles on that, and I'm like, who is writing 3 articles about this? Like, I understand it's the offseason, and it was probably Bills articles from Bills insiders, but I just found it funny.
No, there's nothing.
There's nothing there. You don't even have to comment.
I'm trying to think of like what's worth talking about and what's not, just because like obviously so many players got signed, so many good ones, but which ones are like really worth talking about? I think Alec Pierce is worth a mention just because so many people are shocked by how much money he made. And like, I get it. He's probably not like, he's not this number 1 wide receiver that you're going to feed a bunch of targets, but I think he's on like, I mean, he's making almost as much as Justin Jefferson now. So like, it's crazy, I guess, but I don't think people value how much having a guy that stretches the field like he does. And he's not just like a deep threat. He could win over the middle of the field. He's got unbelievably reliable hands. Like, I just think people should stop being surprised at deals like this when we saw Christian Kirk like reset the market 3 years ago for the Jags. Like, people will value, if you need a weapon, people will overpay for one. Yeah.
And a big thing too is people aren't taking into account, like, other teams wanted him. So the Colts, they had to. Yeah, I know the Patriots were really in on him. Like the Colts really had to buy in if they wanted him, and hey, they went out there and got their guy. It's like the draft. It's like if you overshoot on a guy and you take him in the top 15 when he's supposed to be end of the first round, it's like if you have your guy and he's right there, take him, pay him. You know what I mean? So I'm with it.
Definitely one we should talk about. I think you've had this guy in a couple dynasty teams. Not a signing, but a trade. Michael Pittman Jr. to the Steelers. Do you have like a stance on Michael Pittman Jr. before we break down even if it was a good deal?
I don't really have a stance on Michael Pitt. Like, I do, right? Like, I've watched the Colts, Daniel Jones. I watched them this year. I enjoy him, and you know he'll catch a touchdown here and there, and I'm like, wow, that's one of the best catches I've seen this season. But I think you made the point. Him and DK, it's like I don't see explosiveness there. Like I don't know what I see really when it comes to him and the Steelers. When I watched him with the Colts, I thought, yeah, he's a reliable option. I didn't see star potential or anything in him. Where would you rank him, real quick before you dive into the Steelers fit? Where would you rank him amongst wide receivers? Like that number's got to be high. Like I'm putting you on the spot.
Like maybe we start talking at like. Steelers fans might hate me. Maybe we start talking at like 30.
Yeah,
which that's like, where I don't know. I'd have to see them all in front of me, obviously, but definitely not top 20. I don't know, man. He doesn't really separate that well. He's got fantastic hands, and he does make crazy catches all the time. He set a career high in touchdowns last year. Like, he's not this bad player, and they got him for the cheapskies. But then they re-signed him to a new deal that 3 years, $59 million. Like, it's not that expensive, I guess. It's fine. It doesn't. The problem is that him and DK both don't get open. Pittman's just like a reliable possession guy, and DK is like this archetype of receiver we've never seen before. That's unbelievably fast but can't get open. Phenomenal with the ball in his hands, but it's like impossible to get him the ball. Doesn't have great hands. I don't know. It's weird. They're just weird.
I didn't want to say something crazy, but I didn't think he's separated that well, right? When I think of Michael Pittman Jr., I don't think of... No,
not at all.
He makes catches over guys, and I'm like, it would be nice to see him just make an easy catch, like if he got over the top on someone. And I don't see that often from him. So
he's kind of from the Michael Thomas tree, where it's like this guy's super reliable. It's just Michael Thomas was so dominant underneath, and he could win with his routes like dominantly. Like that's why he was slant man. But he's just like a way less reliable Michael Thomas.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, sure. I mean, when it comes to that move, and they don't even know their quarterback yet, which I guess presumably it's Rodgers. But again, I'm not moved by Rodgers at this age. He can't move. He can't extend a play. And these guys can't move. They can't get open. And when they do get open, DK's dropping it. And, I mean, Pittman gets open one every 12 routes. So I don't know. There's not much to talk about with that one. But definitely worth a mention. I agree.
Honestly, like, just thinking about it now, Jalen Phillips got paid a bunch of money. But I think it was an overpay, to put it, like, simply. But he's a good pass rusher. Like, that's all that I have to say about that. There's going to be a bunch like that. Devin Neal signed with the Panthers, who I think is phenomenal. That's exciting to me. But once we get past, like, Devin Lloyd, it's like, do we want to – then we're just going to sit here and talk about, like, the Tuas of the world. Like, I don't have a lot of comments for that. You know what I mean? So,
no, me neither. I think
Owen was a good signing for the Eagles, I guess.
It was. I've heard his name around.
Rashawn Gary got moved. Like, I don't care. That's probably about it for me, honestly.
I think that's cool because we have a bunch of topics to cover anyways. And I think when all the signings are finalized and there's other guys that move and stuff, we could kind of get into that later right before the NFL season. Yeah. So we're good with the NFL?
Yeah, I'd say so.
All right, perfect. So we could get into, sports that are actually happening right now. World Baseball Classic, the bracket is set. We have Korea versus the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico versus Italy, Venezuela versus Japan, and of course the USA versus Canada. We just saw that matchup in hockey, and guess what happened? So I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not a big baseball guy, evidently, but I think it's safe to say that the U.S. could be in some big trouble because just watching those games with you guys, it's like you're relying on a Judge home run and different things like that against these teams where I'm like, I thought we were supposed to be blowing them out. We're the USA, I know every person on this roster is a diamond in MLB. So it's like, that's how I kind of base my baseball knowledge off. And then there was another close game. They obviously lost to Italy. They're 3-1 in a group play or whatever it is. Are you worried? Like, genuinely, like, this is not a shoo-in. Like, they are not a lock to win this tournament.
I mean, if once you lose to Italy, you got me worried, man. Like, I don't care about. They had some big blowouts, especially late game pushes early on in the pool play, but yeah, man, it's pretty scary. And Italy put the whooping on Mexico yesterday, so like they're good, right? But that's not the standards that we have. Like, this is our sport in America. The DR and Japan are really, really, really good. And they're blowing everybody they play out. So you show a little sign of weakness, like, it's concerning. And you already know the DR and Japan were watching that game go down. And it's like, dude, it's blood in the water. Like, we showed we're hurt. It's like a big UFC fight. You see a guy get knocked in the side of the head, and you see him, like, start stumbling a little bit. Like, you could tell we're questioning ourselves right now. And the worst part about it is we haven't been able to get back on the field since that game, and we're jumping right into quarterfinals. That was our last game. So these guys are coming in with all of that pressure built up, all of that, we lost to Italy. How does a team that's favored by 6.5 runs lose to Italy? And they got to jump right in against a Canada team that has players. And probably a better roster, player-for-player roster than Italy even has. So, yeah, man, it's concerning. I don't think it's over for the U.S. by any stretch, but you got to be like, okay, maybe we're not who we think we are.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I think Team USA, it's like you got to come in with a swagger. You got to come in cocky. I mean, these guys play in the MLB year-round. People from all over the world come to play in the MLB. So when you assemble the best U.S. players from the MLB, it's like it should be a shoo-in, but it's not. What's been your biggest analysis on what's the problem? Like, is it the pitching? Like, I haven't watched all the games. Like, is it the pitching? Is it the inconsistent hitting? Like, I don't really know what's going on with it.
It feels like we hit in waves, I think, is really the thing that got us. And the wave came too late against Italy. We had guys starting to get off base. We had guys starting to get on base. Gunnar hit a homer. PCA homered twice. Guy's a dog. Love him. But there's no time in the World Baseball Classic for your bats to go cold. Like, every single game matters. we almost lost. We almost didn't make the bracket. So it's concerning. The pitching's been on and off. I mean, you get guys like Skeens that just mow through lineups, but you can't throw them every game, right? And we have a lot of both starters and relievers, I guess. Nolan McLean got shelled, and he's a young player, but should he have been on this roster in the first place? I'm not sure. Ryan Yarbrough in the pen is just not good. David Bednar, he's been all right, but like scary moments. We made 2 errors against Italy, like bad errors. We would have been still in the game. I think it would have been tied. I think the guy's name is Brad Miller. He signed to the Phillies. His first name's definitely Brad. I don't know why it's missing me right now, but he fielded a double play ball back to him and he skied it into center field and they scored 2 runs. Like, you're just not. I don't know. Is it a pressure thing? Like, what is it? Why? That's just, it's weird, man. I don't know. I think my biggest thing is, like, you see the DR in Japan and their fans and their dugouts, like, when they hit a home run, it is like they are returning from a war and their country won. It looks like all the things you see in media where it's like Americans coming back after World War II. Like, they're just fired up for this shit, man. And, like, our guys, like, I get it. Like, you want to be classy. You want to act like you've been there before. At the same time, man, when other teams are bringing energy like that, I believe in momentum. And it feels like in a lot of ways the other teams care about this more. And you see that with, like, Skubal pitched 1 game and he's going back. Like, for what, man? We need you. And I get it. You want to go prepare for the MLB season. This happens once every 3 years, and you are representing your country. Like, I understand the MLB season is important to you. It's important to all these guys. It's not like you're not getting reps. I don't know. It's a little confusing to me, but I don't know. I think the biggest difference is how much these guys seem to care, and maybe it's just because they all want to beat the U.S. so bad. I don't know. But when it comes to hitting or pitching, it's just hitting, really. We're cold, and in big at-bats, we're not. Like, Bryce came up with 2 on, or bases, I think it was bases loaded, 2 outs, a chance to really get us back in this thing, and he skied it up, like barely got out of the infield. Judge came up with a chance to tie the game, struck out on 4 or 5 pitches. Like, you got to be better in the big moments, and the pitchers too. I mean, it's just really a matter of who's going out there, I think, for us. Like, I don't know. I only really feel extremely comfortable when Skeens is on the mound.
Yeah, and that's not a recipe for success right there if you're just relying on one guy. And I'm going to compare it to co-op, because like I said, everything I know is based on MLB. When you hit a home run and you get hype in the party, that makes me want to go up there and hit a home run. Now, do I? Probably not. But like you said, these other countries are bringing the energy. Momentum is 100% a real thing where it's like the next batter up. I don't know. I said up like it weird, but the next batter up, like they want to do better than what you just did, even if you hit a grand slam. Like, that's how it works. If you see if everyone goes crazy, I completely agree with that sentiment. And I don't know, I feel as though like America, it's just everyone's so wishy-washy with, and I'm not going to discredit it, but with the politics and everything, like, there's a lot of people who just don't have American pride. So in these other countries, you can tell that everyone is behind them. And I'm not making a political statement, whatever. It's just, I think that's just a fact. There's a lot of people who are against America that live in America. But yeah, so I mean, we just kind of broke it down. Well, you broke it down. I added some MLB commentary. Who's going to win the tournament? I mean, it's hard not to. I mean, I'm going to go with the USA, of course. But, I mean, from a baseball standpoint, who do you think's going to win it all? Do you think the U.S. is still right there? Like, they're going to win it?
I'm still picking the USA, man. I don't know if it's just I'm crazy or if I love my country, man. I do. And this team's talented enough. They gotta right the ship. They gotta come with the energy. I'm gonna take it as they're gonna respond to it as a wake up call. I'm questioning now if our lineup is even the best in this thing. I think our hitting lineup probably isn't, but we got pitchers. I mean, Paul Skeens is a trump card. We're gonna have him for one of these games. We called in Joe Ryan. He's replacing Kershaw. They're kicking Kershaw to the curb, which is pretty funny. He's my favorite player of all time, but I do find that pretty funny. And Joe Ryan could really pitch. I wouldn't be surprised if he does well. I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm taking U.S., but I wouldn't be upset to see the DR win just because they're so electric. But I want to get back at Japan, man. I really do. They got us last time around with Shohei striking out Trout. Legendary moment, but I want that one back. I really do think the U.S. still has as good of a chance as anybody.
Yeah, so we're in agreement. Go USA. Come on, fight back. The past is the past. I guess we'll move into the NBA. I mean, there's only one thing to talk about. Like we're going to talk about multiple things, but I mean, Bam Adebayo, 83 points. Are you kidding me? Like I saw he had 31 in the first quarter. And I was like, okay, Bam's going to go for, I even said at that point, I'm like, Bam's going to have a nice 60 point, which is already crazy for him. And then I was watching the Celtics Spurs. Evidently, that's a more interesting game. Wemby played awesome, but not what we're talking about. And then I just saw he had 60 of them things. And then he had 70 of them things, and I had to tune in. And granted, the last couple minutes of the game, people have their reservations about it. I will make my point right now. I don't care about any of that. The free throws, you could talk about how ethical it was. He had 83 points. Okay, and if anyone else could do this, and people could do this, but if NBA players could realistically do this once a season or even once in a lifetime, they would. That's the bottom line. And they don't. Nobody's done it since Kobe. And that's kind of my stance on the performance itself. Okay, I hate the NBA world that we're in now where it's like people are so mad about it. Like, I understand you could be critical of it, and I'm critical of it. Don't get me wrong. I looked at it. The box score wasn't the greatest. I don't get how people are so mad about this. This is awesome. This is freaking amazing for the sport. Bam Adebayo never averaged over 22 points per game in a season. Just dropped 83 points. This is awesome.
If I asked you how many players, like, if I just told you to start listing players that would have broken, it's not the record, but broken Kobe's 81, dear God, before the season, I just started, like, you just started listing players, how many would it take for you to write Bam?
He'd probably be in, like, the 40 spot.
Dude, I don't even know if he'd be in the top 50. This is truly insane. Like, this is not insane. The player you would expect it from. I agree with you. Like, 83 is 83, man. And it's weird that people just hate. Like, it's weird. But, I mean, that is the culture that we live in. Like, I should expect it. Hating on people is cool now. And it's funny. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, some of the tweets, like, they got me laughing. But he still scored 83 in a game, and can't anybody take that away from him. And it's just, it's awesome. It's crazy. It's so cool that, like, I'm going to be able to say, yeah, Wilt scored 100. We might never see that again. But when I was 22 years old, a 5-time all-defensive center, 2-time all-star, or maybe he's 3, like, out of nowhere, averaging 19 points, dropped 83. Like, that's the coolest thing ever.
83, dude.
83, bro. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I don't think it's as impressive as, like, Kobe dropping 81, right? But that's also not the first thing that I'm thinking about after it happens.
That's what I'm saying.
Which I think is important. Like, I don't want to... I don't like comparing it to other things. Like, I wrote in our script, like, comparison to other historic performances because I feel like we have to talk about it. And, like, sure, maybe it's not as impressive as Kobe efficiently doing 81 or, like, the Luka game I put in there where he dropped 70 on, like, 25 of 33, which is so insane. But not the conversation. Like, why can't we just enjoy something? You know what I mean? Like, this is so sick.
Look, I enjoy it, right? But I'm glad I gave my Bam praise because now it's time. We get a little bit critical. It's not a top 5 performance in NBA history.
No, it's definitely not.
That's 100% my take, and I'll list them right now. Wilt's 100-point game is better. Kobe's 81-point game is better. Luka's 3? Whatever it was.
73, 10, and 7, yeah.
Yeah, Luka's 73-point performance is better. Dame's is better. Embiid's is better. And if we want to keep going, we got Booker, and we got some of those guys who hit 69 points that are better. They were in more high-leverage situations. The games were close, so they needed those performances. They weren't facing a tanking Wizards, and they were all pretty efficient compared to Bam's. So like I just said, I gave him his praise. 83 is 83, and nothing could take you away from that. It's not a top 5 performance in NBA history from me, which is kind of crazy. But, I mean, if you're looking at the situation itself, the context behind it, the team they were playing, Alex Sarr was on a minutes restriction, which I guess it wouldn't have mattered that night. But, I mean, he played 20 minutes. He's their best defensive center. He's their only center that I'm aware of. So there was a lot of factors. But at the end of the day, 83 is 83. And also, too, people don't realize that Bam was cooking from the first quarter. People know that he scored 31 in the first. If you watch that first quarter tape, no, he was cooking these guys from the beginning. He was hitting every three. He was getting to the rim easily. And this was before they were just hacking other teammates and at the end of the game just giving him all these calls. In the first quarter, he was rolling. So this was going to be 60 no matter what. And if he did score 60, I bet it was efficiently.
It wasn't inefficient until he got to 50 and he was like, all right, I'm going for this.
Yeah.
So, he was playing dominant in the first half. I don't want this to be remembered as, inefficient. It has to be, I guess, in a way, but only the portion where he was clip farming.
Yeah.
And Harden's 60-point triple-double, have to give that a shout-out against your Orlando Magic. That was crazy. I think that's the best game I've ever seen. Even though, maybe the numbers, Luka's numbers are definitely more. Now, Luka's might be. Luka was 25 of 33 from the field that game. That's, unheard of.
How many free throws did he have? 14?
Clearly not a lot if you made 25 shots.
That's what I'm saying. It's I looked at the box score again, and obviously when it happened, it was going crazy. And they only won by 7. It was a close game.
It was a banger.
Oh, wait, no. They might
have 10 minutes of that at Smitty's house.
We did. Wait, did they win? I might be mixing up my games. Did they win by 20? It was 131 to 114.
I'm pretty sure that one was close. I'm pretty sure it was that being close.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know as much ball as I thought. But one of the games where it's maybe the Dame game was 131-114, where it's the game was pretty handedly in the Blazers' hands. I don't know.
That Dame one was the most impressive feat of shot making I've ever seen. Luka was 148 to 143.
Yeah, so yeah, that was
classic.
Absolutely classic. So, Bam, 83, awesome. Not a top 5 performance in NBA history from my perspective, but I can't take anything away from the guy.
No, it's all love. That was incredible.
It's all love. I love it for the NBA too. Next up, surprisingly, nobody thought we'd be talking about this. The 5 to 10 seed race in the East, the bottom of the East, they're not only competing with each other, they're genuinely good teams. The records may not show it, but there's also context behind those records with injuries and, certain games not going their way. The Hawks, right? Kristaps was supposed to be awesome for them. Didn't work out. Trae Young got traded because he was hurt all year and didn't perform. So there's context behind these records. I'll break down really quick the top 5. We have 5, the Magic, they're 36 and 28. 6, the Heat, they're 37 and 29. Raptors, 36 and 29. 76ers, 35 and 30. Hawks, 34 and 31. Hornets, 34 and 33. Those are some damn good teams, and I think we just got to talk about it. How do you see this shaping up? And, they're all so hot right now.
Dude, the Magic are awesome right now. Unfortunately for my Sixers, I think that's where you have to start. Looking like a different team. Paul is looking like a different player. They're not even fully healthy yet, and they've shot up to 5th in the last 2 weeks. So, I mean, that's really the story. Heat have been on a rip, too. I think they've won 6 straight. So that's impressive. I think it all starts – I'm going to start with the foundation of the 5-10 down at 10. Dude, it's got the Sixers' name all over it. It's unfortunate, but they got a tough win against the Grizzlies, man, and they're playing hard. They really are. You lose Maxey for 3 weeks now, as of yesterday, so you won't have him for, 10 to 12 games. Brutal. You lost Oubre for 2 weeks yesterday. Embiid's health is in question. We have no idea when he's going to be back. He's supposed to get reevaluated today. I didn't see a report on it. Maybe they dropped one. Edgecombe just got back from injury. Dembona just got hurt or sick or something. Paul George doesn't come back for another 2 weeks. It's over. It is so over for the Sixers team, not even just speaking in this race. They're going to get bounced in the play-in because guys can't just come back 2 days before the playoffs and expect something to happen. It was an awesome, all things considered, it was a win of a season for my Sixers. But, I mean, the writing's just on the wall. It's over. And, dude, everyone else behind them is playing so well. Everyone else in front of them is playing so well. Not the Raptors. Raptors are actually on a legendary skid, too. So I think I would have to comfortably put them at 9. Dude, I think the Hornets are the scariest team of any of these right now in a playoff series, and they're 10th. They've won so many. I mean, they're 34-33. I think they had, 25 losses when they had 12 wins. I don't understand where it came from.
It's been insane. The Hornets. It's. I want to talk about this real quick too because I watched a lot of Hornets games recently. I really think the offense is so efficient because they come at. I can't say that. That was sus. They have so many ways to score and to create offense, and they have 3 of their top players that all do different things. Brandon Miller, he's going to give you efficient jump shooting, right? But he can also get to the rim. He's been absolutely insane this year. Pull-up jumpers, everything involved. He's been active on defense. Defense is where it is at. He's been active on defense. Con Knippel, straight-up shooter, one of the best rookie shooters we've ever seen. Probably going to be one of the best top 5 shooters in the NBA for the foreseeable future. And then he's also just such a smart player at such a young age. We've talked about it before. He's a connector. He makes these connecting passes where you don't see the vision when it happens, but 2 to 3 passes later, it goes in the basket, and that starts with Con Knippel, always making the right play, low turnovers, but he gets the ball a lot. And then LaMelo, I mean, he's just been so impressive to me this past 2 months. It's been awesome to see. He's driving more. He's always looking to pass, which he's always done, but it's really opened up this offense because, I mean, now they have players to kind of help him out. And then he's just also such a good three-point shooter. I know he shoots some dumb shots, but he is really just a sniper. So I think the Hornets are so scary. One of the best offenses in the NBA, period. Doesn't matter what teams you're talking about, where they're at in the standings. So I do love Charlotte. And then the rest of the teams are on a rip, like you said. The Hawks have won 9 of their last 10. The Magic have a 5-game win streak. The Heat have a 6-game win streak. They're all heating up at the right time, which has made this so interesting.
I know, man. I think the Magic, Heat, Hornets. We'll see if the Hawks thing's real. I don't know if they haven't been playing great teams, so maybe that's a big part of it. But the Hornets, Magic, and Heat, I was so worried. I mean, Kate asked this question the other day. Is there any way that the East isn't just the top 4 teams? There wasn't. Now it's dude,
yep.
I don't know if this Magic team's playing so well, and if they get healthy, I don't know, man. I think that could be an interesting series, whether that's the Cavs or the Knicks, because I don't think they're going to be past 6. I don't know. I think that's going to be fun. And I think the Hornets are an awful matchup for the Celtics, so if that lines up, I don't know, man. It could be good matchups. I think the Raptors are going to be down with the Sixers, down at the DeMar DeRozan Invitational in the 9 and 10 spot. Yeah, I think I'll just jump to my order. I would go Sixers 10, Raptors 9. I mean, Hornets still have a decent bit of ground to make up to catch the Heat. So I'll go Hornets 7, Heat 6, Magic 5, which, I guess I'm keeping the top 2 the same. But they're just playing so well, I don't have a reason to move them. Yeah, that's where I'd be at with it.
Yeah, before I kind of give my predictions for who's going to make the playoffs or the play-in, I think Desmond Bane needs to get some love somewhere. And he's getting posted on ESPN, don't get me wrong. He made a crazy three-pointer last night to kind of seal the game, put them up 5. But in general, I listen to all these sports podcasts and I see all these sports TikToks. Nobody is talking about him, right? And the reason is because he had a bad first month with the new franchise. People still have that taste in their mouth where they're like, if they haven't been watching the Magic, they're like, no, Desmond Bane was bad. And after the first month, that simply wasn't true. Like, he has been phenomenal. He's been the steadiest rock out of all of them because Paulo's been in the lineup, but he's been passive and having trouble with Mosley, and he's been in the news for stuff that's not good, right? And then AB just got hurt, so, I mean, he would also be a contender for MVP of this team just with his rise and his defense. But Desmond Bane is easily the MVP of this team. And what's so impressive is he's doing it without the three-point shot. Last night he made 2 3-pointers and he had 32, and he won us that game. He swung the momentum every time the game got close. So I think he needs to get some flowers. When it comes to where the seeding is going to finish, I think at this point with Hero playing the way he is, Bam just dropped 83. They just have a huge momentum stretch. I think the Heat are actually going to jump the Magic. I think they're going to go into that 5. I think the Magic are going to be at 6. I'll give it a little break. 7. So that wasn't a meme. Give it a little pause. I think that's what we need to start doing. 7. I think it's really interesting. I'll go the Hornets. Not to sound redundant like you. Same as you. I'll go 8. I don't know. It's tough. I really do think. I think the Hawks are going to finish 10. I don't believe in this Hawks team. Like you said, they're playing good right now, but they have a couple players stepping up too. They've been playing bad teams, so I got them at 10. Sixers at 9, and then I got Raptors at 8. So that was a little bit out of order, but I think I listed all the teams.
You did.
And the Raptors are, and I will say this, the play-in the East, people always talk about how good the West is and stuff. The bottom of the West is not that interesting. And obviously they have 6 like superstar contenders, and yes, I'm including the Lakers in that now because they are playing fantastic. And it's really weird that it's without LeBron. I don't know how to comment on that. But after the 6 teams, it's like I'm not worried about the Warriors at all. Who else is in that West play-in tournament? The Suns without Brooks and without Booker, and even with those two, like they played great this year. I don't see them as anything scary. I don't think they have a chance like in the East where one of these bottom seeds could knock off one of the top seeds. I don't think that's true with the Suns. And yeah, I just think the East needs more respect.
It's just a better conference. Realistically, it is right now, I would say. In terms of like being a complete conference. Just because, the highs are higher in the West.
100%.
Just like that top 4, I would say is, the top 4 in the East, actually, I'd say
it's good.
As a complete whole might be better than the 3-4 spots in the East I like more than 3 spots in the West, but the 1-2 of the West, it's just
pretty easily.
Just
and the Pistons have been skidding. They're looking a little beautiful right now.
They're just human, right? Like they're a young team. They have flaws that me and you have discussed at ends on this podcast already, but like that's normal. And I'm happy that they're getting it out of the way now. They got a bunch of time to right the ship because I kind of support the Pistons. I know last week we were talking about it. They're kind of hateable to some people. I understand that, but I would like to see a new, like, fresh team make a run, and I think they could definitely do it. So I support them.
Yeah, and like you said, I think the top 4 in the East doesn't get enough respect just because the Knicks are always in the media because of Cat's antics, or not even antics. He's just kind of soft, so they're always in the media for negative stuff. The Celtics, people have talked about them. I won't say they won't. I won't say they haven't, but the Celtics, man, what they're doing this season is unprecedented. Everyone thought that they'd be like a lottery contender, kind of in that same tier with the Pacers, and they're just a complete team. The Cavs, tough loss last night. The Harden regime still looks great, right? They're kind of proving right now that they can play with Donovan Mitchell and Harden. I would like to see Harden and Mobley's chemistry get a little better. It just isn't there right now. And I guess that's because Evan Mobley is a more dynamic player than Jared Allen, who, like, Jared Allen, if he could get 5 dump-offs a game, that's free points, and then he could kind of create in the post a little bit by himself, he's fine with that. So Mobley, I think he's trying to do a little bit too much. But yeah, I mean, I think that's all there is to talk about with the East.
Yeah, I would say so.
It's interesting.
Is there anything else I wanted to mention?
Yeah, you wrote something down in the script, if you remember it, about the
like NBA. Yeah, no, I meant in terms of standings. Yeah,
okay,
yes.
Yeah. I want you to mention it though, because this was a great point, and it's a question I've been thinking of myself. But I mean, you're the one that wrote it down.
Yeah, I mean, I've been standing on the table like for Jokic, which is an interesting turnaround. I was never the biggest like Jokic fan. I'm still not the biggest fan of like his personality, I guess, but easily like the best player to me in the league. And I was like, Shea's obviously, I mean, his resume in the last few years has put him in the number one conversation, but I was always a little bit dismissive. But the Warriors. I put Warriors in the script too when I was writing that. I don't know why I keep thinking about them. The Nuggets played the Thunder in Oklahoma City a few nights ago. I want to say it was a Monday night or Tuesday night.
Mm-hmm.
And the synopsis is that Shea had 32 points and 15 assists or something like that. But not even that. The Thunder are up 1 on the Nuggets, and there's 14 seconds left on the shot, or in the game, and there's 2 seconds left on the shot clock. Shea takes a step back 3. He buries it. And Jokic is coming down the other end. He shoots a 3, makes it, and an offensive foul. So now the game's tied. You're thinking, if you're Shea, you're thinking, okay, I just gave up I just might have won us the game. They're going to get one more shot off, and then we'll see. Maybe it's overtime from there. You get thrown into this position where, okay, now it's tied up. All of a sudden, you're up 4. And Shea comes out of a timeout with 8 seconds left, walks down. He's got Christian Brown guarding him. He gets a switch, and step back 3, man, nails. Like, I don't know. I think there's a lot to that. I think moments matter. A lot of people just think the regular season's a crock of shit anymore, but games like that mean something to me, and that's what I love about this Thunder team. And I know some people think they're so hateable, but they want to win every single big game. Like every single regular season game matters to them, especially Shea. And I love how bad he wants to win. And I've always liked Shea. But that game specifically, like that felt like a moment to me. Maybe he's the best player in the world right now. But beyond that, definitely secured the MVP in that game for me. I don't think anything could change that in these last 15 games.
It is so funny. I was thinking for the past 2 minutes, just like when you were breaking that down. Great breakdown, by the way. I love that. Just telling the game. I was making my point where it's like that game secured the MVP for Shea. This brings up the bigger question of Jokic finally has some competition for the best player in the National Basketball Association. And there is, I don't care who says what, if you're a Nuggets fan, if you're an advanced stats nerd, there is no denying that moment, not solely, but pretty big, just kind of confirmed that this is a discussion. Because I've been with you. I think Jokic, even though he hasn't won the MVP every year, has been the best player in the NBA for the past 5 or 6 years. I think it's been undeniable. The numbers he's put up, the advanced stats, everything supports that. They're winning games. No matter what, they're going to get 50. That's kind of what it's been the past 5 years. But now it's a question. Because Shea just tied Wilt's record. Tonight he's going to break it. I have no doubts about that. I would put, even if it's minus 2,000 on the sports book, I'd put probably my life savings on it for him to get 20 plus. I mean, that's every night. But it's just crazy what he's doing this year and what he did last year. In last year's numbers, people don't want to say it, were so comparable to Curry's from his unanimous MVP season. And it's like, obviously the 3-point shooting isn't there. Like, he was only taking like 5 attempts per game, but he was shooting like 40% on those. Like, he is just all around one of the best players that we've ever seen, let alone just in the NBA right now. He's one of the best players we've ever seen. If they do it again this year, I think we're going to have some uncomfortable conversations about the top 5 point guards list that we did a couple weeks ago. because this is just ridiculous. Yeah, I think you broke it down really well. I don't know who the best player in the NBA is right now. Right now, currently, I do think it is Shea. And it sways. And my biggest thing is, like, during the season, you can't really determine who the best player is. It has to be at the end of the season, does somebody finally overtake Jokic? And last year, it was getting close, but I still comfortably said Jokic. But now it's like, at the end of this season, I think it's going to be a tough conversation.
That's what's just so interesting about it, right? Because, like, when you have someone that's as dominant as Jokic for this long, like, you could be dismissive of Shea for as long as you want to until it gets to the point where you can't ignore it. And, like, that's what it felt like, and that's why the moment was so cool to me. And it's like, I don't even want to compare it to this because they're not even remotely the same, but it's like back when him and Embiid were competing for that one MVP, and no, I don't think anyone would make at that point in time the argument, not even me, where it was like, okay, Embiid's the best player in the world right now, but the MVP game happened, and it was like the 7th to last game of the season, and they matched up head to head, and Embiid gave him the work, and it was like, it got to a point where, okay, for this season MVP voting, you can't ignore it. With Shea, it's just getting to the point. I mean, that was for this MVP season, slamming the door. Like, that wasn't like, you can't ignore it. That was like, this is my year. And now it's getting to the point you can't help but start to, as much as you don't like him, and people will because they're just haters and they want to call him a free throw merchant. All that shit's just so garbage. You can't ignore it anymore. He's here. Like, he's as good as anybody that's alive. And if he's not your one, that's fine. But I mean, you can't just say it's not close anymore.
You brought up Jokic and Embiid, and that's kind of where my argument for not picking the best player, like who the best player in the league is during the regular season, because there were nights during that Embiid year where Embiid was the best player in the world. Like, it was just undeniable. He'd have 38 points. He would shoot 70% from the field, 70% on three-pointers. And you were like, that is the best player in the world at this current moment. But it's such ebbs and flows because then the next game, Jokic would have a 39-point triple-double. And then you're like, he's the best player in the world at this very moment. So, in my opinion, it comes down to the totality of the season and how you come out of the season looking at it. And that's not even necessarily thinking about the playoffs, because even last year, if Jokic lost, like he did lose in Game 7 against the Thunder, but if they lost in like the first round, I still wouldn't have said that Shea is better than him. But this year, just all the moments that Shea has had, he's coming back from an injury, which usually doesn't happen to Shea, and he's come back from it so gracefully. And on the flip side, Jokic has struggled, which makes me think it's a little bit scarier because he just doesn't look like himself, and he's still averaging 29, 10, and 12 on the season. He's obviously amazing. The three-pointers aren't falling right now. He's turning the ball over more. Like, there's real concern for Jokic, because if Jokic isn't playing like the unanimous best player in the world, that team, I don't even know what to think about that team.
Exactly. That's the thing. Like, the situations aren't comparable, but I mean, you can't just make the situation the entire argument.
No, you can't. So I think it's a conversation. If you say it's not a conversation, anybody listening, anybody in the NBA world, I think you're just lying to yourself.
I agree. A lot of questions get answered come April. So
yeah, that's true.
I'm excited. I'm really excited. This year's playoffs, dude, I just haven't been this excited for an NBA year in a long time.
I'm so excited. I mean, you have the Spurs. Like we said, the Spurs could come out of the West, which is crazy to say. Nobody would have said that start of the season. No matter what, if they had Wemby and Castle, who had a great rookie year, and they got Dylan Harper, nobody thought that they were going to be on top of the West.
Yeah, it's like last year, like the Thunder were so dominant, but there was always the question, like, okay, they haven't been there before, so like you don't know. And it ended up being a really close run, and who knows what happens if Halliburton didn't get hurt. But now it's like we know they're the best team, but like now it's not the question of can they perform when it's there. Now it's like there's other rosters that are like serious, like. There's other teams that can give them runs. Spurs, the main one in question.
Yeah, and in this year, too, I think the West was great last year, but this year, really, seeds 1 through 6, I could see them making the finals. And real quick, we don't have to have the Lakers conversation this podcast because we're going to be talking about the Lakers come playoff time, but they really cemented themselves right there. Like, I know
this has been awesome.
I know.
You know how much I love LeBron, but he's one of my favorite players ever. It's not his time anymore. This is like people are just so quick to forget what Luka Doncic could do when it's his team. Like he's incredible. He's as he hasn't played as well, like and gotten MVPs like Jokic and Shea. Any given night though, like he could compete with guys like that. I have no doubt about that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's been really fun to just watch Luka play Luka ball again.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, he's easier to play with at this point in his career. Probably at any point, because when it comes, I think the Lakers are just playing so much more free when LeBron's off the court. Because all of those role players, when LeBron is on the court, if they miss a shot, I guarantee you they're sitting there thinking, like, is Bron going to like that one? Like, am I going to get yelled at? Like, am I doing the right thing? Am I not going to play next game? And then when you play with Luka, I mean, I'm sorry, at this point, he just hasn't earned that respect yet, I guess is the best way to put it, where it's like, if you miss a shot, you're going to be like, okay, I'll let Luka do it next time. But you know that Luka's not going to be sitting there and thinking about trading you.
Yeah.
With LeBron, I think that's in the back of your mind. Rui's probably taken a couple threes, missed them pretty bad, and been like, I might be gone back to the Wizards. I might be back in purgatory. Like, I definitely think that has happened.
Luka's going to backdoor the scoring title, which is pretty crazy just because he had a stretch. He was down to like 29 points. Like the last 2 weeks, he's had like, I think like 440 pieces. So, I mean, it's not like crazy. There's still a lot of time left in the season, but I didn't think that was on the table. I think he is leading the league in scoring right now. I want to check what Shea's putting up. Yeah, he's putting up more than Shea as of right now. Good for him. I love Luka.
It's interesting. I love Luka too, even though the antics have been awful this year. They've been the worst they've ever been.
He's extremely flawed too. But like, I'm just saying, I like him.
I like Luka too, and I mean the stuff off the court too. I like him off the court. He's like Jokic with a little bit more personality. Like he's so laid back, but he does like TikTok videos. And I was watching Jesser. Evidently, I don't know if I'm going to get made fun of for that. I was eating dinner. I threw on Jesser, and he went to the All-Star Weekend, and he went to a couple of Luka events, and him and Luka played horse. And it was just really funny. Like, Luka was having a good time. Like, Luka off the court actually has some personality. So it's like on the court, it's like he doesn't play the greatest defense. He doesn't play defense at all. And he complains to the refs a lot. But when it comes to off the court and on offense, it's like I love him.
Yeah.
You know, I really do love Luka. Okay, moving on to the different side of basketball. College basketball. Obviously, we're going to have our March Madness show next week, probably pretty early, right? Maybe we'll do...
I was going to say, how long have we been talking for? Because I can't see.
An hour 7, which is fine. We're doing good.
Yeah, okay, actually, that's fine.
That's fine. We could break down the conference. I want to talk about the conference championships. We could talk about whatever. I wanted to propose an idea to you. Guys, if you don't know, we're going to the Big East tournament tomorrow. Very exciting. Maybe we'll do some content. Like, low-key, I was thinking of bringing out my camera a couple times. And not my physical camera, like my phone camera. Maybe I'll take some videos. Maybe we'll do some voiceovers. That content is really good. I was also thinking we should do something like go live on YouTube. Like for
fun.
Selection Sunday, if we could figure that out.
Oh, that'd be super fun.
If we're with our friends or something, then maybe not. But I'm saying if me, you, and Kate are all at our respective houses and stuff, I think that'd be really fun because we can't go live on TikTok till 1,000 followers.
Yeah.
So we're still a little bit of ways. But I was just throwing that out there.
Not a bad idea. That could be really fun.
I think that would be really fun. Maybe gain some more followers on YouTube. Go subscribe, guys. But yeah, I guess we're going to talk about the conference championships. We're going to talk about the Big Five, right?
Yeah.
Big Five. We'll start in the ACC because I think this is going to be the easiest. I'm going to go with Duke. Call it bias, call it whatever you want. They're the best team in college basketball. I've looked at the numbers, and it's just so refreshing to see guys who can do different things. Obviously Boozer's the main one, but then, you have guys dropping 14, and I think Shire, it's like, not to say that Coach K at the end became gimmicky, but it was like everyone kind of clowned Coach K, and he's a legend, don't get me wrong, I never clowned him, but Shire just like flies under the radar, and he just coaches, and he gets the most out of these players. And me and you reposted the same video on TikTok where they're in the locker room at halftime breaking stuff down on a whiteboard. And I'm sure some of these college teams, even these ones that have 29, 30 wins, are sitting there on their phone at halftime. Like,
Yeah.
this isn't a normal group. This group is not normal. The team last year should have won it all. Maybe they'll get redemption this year. So I'm going to go with Duke pretty easily. I don't really think they have competition. Not to jinx them, knock on wood, but I think it's really interesting.
Yeah, two Duke fans going Duke here. I'll take Duke as well. Important to note, no Caleb Foster maybe for the rest of the year. Like, really crucial hit. No Pat Gongba for at least the ACC tournament. Like, those are two really big losses.
They are.
ACC tournament I'm not worried about because I mean, Shire's a rock star.
He is.
And I don't really care if we have to have Darren Harris come in and spot us 20 minutes. Kid could shoot it. At the end of the day, we have guys on our bench that are talented. Maybe don't play a lot of minutes, but I'm concerned about Caden Boozer playing a ton because he can't shoot. But he's not. He's a good player, though. I'll take Duke. But injury concerns, maybe something weird could happen. Who knows?
Yeah, no, I need to be more tapped in because I knew about the Foster, but I didn't even know any other injuries that were going on. What I wanted to say, did you watch the Caden Boozer video of like when everyone was tailgating for UNC tickets?
No.
He traded up from a Duke foam finger to like, I forget what it was. I watched the full video. Really funny though. I love the Boozers. Like it was funny.
Like a Domino's ad, and it was Caden, and all the comments were like, "Yo, I think they got the wrong one." That was funny.
It is really funny. He traded, like, I keep talking about this video, but I loved it. Like, he just went around a campus and was like, it was definitely it was definitely scripted. Like, he definitely talked to these guys before, but he traded like the foam finger for like, he was like, "Yo, you got any good snacks in your tent?" And this girl was like, "Yeah, I have trail mix." And he's like, "I'll take that." And he took the trail mix for like, it was like a Duke memorabilia. I was like, I don't even know what's going on in this video. Just a good personality, good vibes going on in Duke. Right? If people want to make this team the villain, they're not the villain. I'm sorry. And it's like you could buy into that role, but Shire's not a villain. Their star's not a villain. Boozer's not a villain. I think they're really good vibes.
This team really has no villain vibes at all to me.
No, they don't.
Like, I could see the Cooper Flag one a little bit.
I could
He's an
too.
emotional guy. Like, he wears his heart on his sleeve on the court.
But in college, like
that, but...
in high school, yeah, he did. He talked the most shit I've ever seen from a high school player. But in college, like he was really like there's always shit talk on the floor, but like he was just hype after dunks and stuff. Like I still think he was likable, but if you're white and good at Duke, you're gonna be yelled at.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout out Christian Leitner. Yeah, so ACC pretty easy for both of us. Big 12. I'm curious to see who you have here. I guess not that curious. I think we're going to pick the same team again, but I want to hear your thoughts.
We're definitely not going to pick the same team again.
No?
Yeah, no, definitely not. You could go first. Get your conservative pick out of the way, you boomer.
I'm a boomer for taking the Wildcats?
Yeah, dude. You must be.
Dude, I am not a boomer here, and I'll give my reasoning. I don't watch college basketball in and out, but I did some research for this, looked at the squads. I've seen highlights from them all year. I love Tommy Lloyd, and he hasn't seemed to got it done. He doesn't get it done sometimes. Like, it's just a fact. Like, he has his problems. Don't get me wrong, but I think this team is awesome. Mix of seniors and upperclassmen. I love seeing that. Blending in perfect. Koa Pete, Braden Barry is very interesting. Jaden Bradley, I have to tap in more to him. Because he just won Big 12 Player of the Year. We're going to talk about it. Yeah, like I know you're mad about that. I'm mad about that too, just because I mean, our golden boy at this point, which he was before the season started. I did not think I was going to like this guy. People should know who we're talking about. I love this guy. Unanimous #1 pick in the NBA draft, not a question. Jaden Bradley, though, I got to tap in more. Very interested to see him in the tournament. And yeah, that's it. I guess I went with the conservative boomer Tommy Lloyd sympathist pick.
You want to know how much AJ DeBance is really my boy?
Yeah.
The 10 seed BYU Cougars I picked to win the Big 12 tournament.
I love it.
And they're playing tonight. I'm checking the score. I checked the score right now before I started talking. Number 2 Houston, down 29-28 right now. They routed West Virginia by 20 in their first game. Look, man, they got the best player in college basketball. No, they don't. But they have one of the best players in college basketball. Best player in college basketball for college basketball, I think, is on Duke. But, dude, why not? If they get past this Houston team, and I think DeBanza wants to win these games so bad. He's another person that's just like hyper competitive. And they have other guys on the team that are good as well. I think if you get a good run here from Robert Wright, they got a couple of white guys that shoot the shit out of the ball. I don't know. I think they had some losses down the stretch that really pissed them off. And if they win this game and Kansas wins their game, we get Peterson versus DeBanza. Work with me here, man. Maybe the ratings, maybe the fix is in. I don't know. I'm just saying. So I like BYU. Why not?
I'm with it. Didn't they lose their top scorer? Or not their top scorer, I guess, but one of their really good players recently?
They lost. Robert Wright got hit with an elbow or something. I don't know if he's playing or not. Some dude did a Euro and he got hit in the mouth and he was bleeding everywhere. I don't know if he's. I don't know, to be honest.
I thought there was another one. I'm interested.
They probably did.
Richie Saunders.
Okay.
Season-ending
ACL
injury.
Does he shoot it?
I don't know. I just heard that they lost. He's a starter.
Oh, he is white and he shoots it. Okay. See, I didn't know that kid got hurt.
Tore his ACL in February. Yeah.
Ooh. He's a bucket, dude.
He's a bucket. He's a starter. I'm telling you, I don't know college basketball. I wish I did more. I'm just so tapped into the NBA. But I saw that and I'm like, injury. That's interesting.
It is. No, that's a big loss. Like a really, really big loss. I wouldn't have picked him if I knew he was out. I watched him the other night too, and he wasn't out there. But I didn't know it was permanent.
Yeah, it's permanent. At this point, he might be playing in Sylvania. I don't know about his draft stock. I don't know anything about him.
He's old as shit too.
Yeah, I have to tap in with him. So yeah, BYU, Arizona, maybe. I mean, they're close with Houston right now, so I would stay strong with your pick. I'm with it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Okay, next up, we could do the Big East, which is really interesting. It is really interesting. This is the first. I mean, last one was interesting. You picked BYU, but this one's interesting. I'll say this right now. I've watched. I think I've actually tapped into UConn a little bit. Just shout out James Martin. Shout out Rob on the Hillside podcast. They're doing their thing. They're big UConn fans. At least Rob is. So I watched some UConn just a little bit, and they don't look like UConn, to be honest. And I guess that's unfair because the standards they're held to as of late. But even in their wins, they like I've looked at their schedule. Like they've beaten some bad teams in very close games, which I never like to see. I think you should blow out every team that's under you, especially with NIL and just the opportunity you get. I'm going to trust Rick Pitino, and I'm going to go with St. John's. It's not a hot take or anything. They've beaten the same teams that UConn has, and they've beaten them by more. They beat UConn this year in like a 10-point win. And then I saw this, too. I didn't watch this game. They lost to UConn by 30 points.
They did.
I have no context for that. I don't know what happened.
I'm not sure there's much to offer.
Were people out? were players out? Am I missing something?
It gets to a point, man. 30-point loss. I don't care if you're missing a couple guys. To be honest,
you're right. But then again, we've seen games where it's like it's close-ish, maybe like 15-point game, and then the end of the game, like UNC and Duke the other night, it was close. It was 44-40, and then out of nowhere, Duke won by 17. Like we've seen games like that. 30 points is a lot. Don't get me wrong. And the score was like 70. They scored 42 points or whatever it was. It looked ugly. I'm still gonna trust Rick. I'm gonna go with St. John's when it comes. When everything comes to fruition.
Yeah, UConn got a big win over Seton Hall, and just when I thought they were all the way back after routing St. John's and then winning by 4 against Seton Hall, who's a good team, they turn around and lose to Marquette, who's had an awful year, and then the Big East tournament starts. And they're playing right now. They're beating the brakes off of Xavier. They're up 50-30. But I just think the fact that it really came down to here for me is I know UConn and St. John's is going to be the final. Dude, it's literally a home game for St. John's. It's their home arena. And like if it's a pick 'em, why would I not just pick St. John's? That being said, I also just trust their style of play more, and I like their coach more. So St. John's, but marginally, UConn's a really good team.
UConn's great, and Hurley, as much as I dislike him a lot now, I used to like him, and now I really don't. Great basketball coach. I mean, the culture they have over there is awesome. So, but they haven't looked like themselves. I think that's fair to say. Where it's like they're. I mean, I don't know. Is Providence good?
Providence is not good. No,
They beat Providence by like 4. Like there's just some games that they won where I'm like, and maybe something weird happened where that happens sometimes, but it seems to have happened a lot this year where they barely squeak these ones out. Yeah. So I'm gonna go with Rick. Shout out Rick. What's the Drake line?
Providence tomorrow, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, so maybe I'll get it. I don't know.
I'm excited for that. I think they played St. John's today and lost.
Did they? I'm not tapped in. I need to be tapped in, but
yeah, they lost to St. John's today, so we're not getting.
Was it close?
Lost by 13. They were 15 and 18 this year, Providence.
So
they stink.
Whatever, they stink. We'll move on. Big Ten. I'm just gonna give me the Wolverines. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I'm going with the Wolverines too, but I wouldn't be surprised at Michigan State at all because it's Tom Izzo. But Michigan's team is just so good.
It's so good.
Tom Izzo just wins in March. So, like, once it's time for me to make my bracket, I'm going to have him going pretty far. But, like, the talent discrepancy between those two teams, like, not even close.
You know what's funny? I love Izzo, but I was such, like, in a Penn State mood when we saw them versus Michigan State, and Izzo was crying to the refs. And I was just like, you're so sad, bro. Like, you're in the BJC right now, and you're crying to the refs because your team can't beat this sad sack of shit organization. I think we have to say it. Penn State basketball. God, what a fall from grace, man. And I'm, you know what? I'm just glad that we were there for the golden year. I can't even say years. That's sad. The golden year.
Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened.
Oh, that's how I am. Because then the next year they didn't even have even close to the same team, so I had no connection to it. Like I was hype. I was like, okay, we'll see what Mike Rhodes could do, and then just like down the log flume. Yeah. So Big Ten, give me the Wolverines. Also, too, I saw a video today. They were like, predict the top 4, the Final 4 in the conference, or Final 4 in March Madness to all these like NBA rookies. And obviously, you all got to say your like alma mater, like where you went to school. Niederhauser said Penn State, and I'm like, dog, does he not know? Does he?
No, we're the worst team in the Big Ten.
We're the worst team in college basketball.
Yeah, no, they're definitely the worst Power 5 team.
They really are.
Suck.
They stink.
It's a shame.
What else? Somebody else said too. I forget who it was. Somebody else said Penn State, and they weren't a Penn Stater. I don't know. Maybe it was a Clippers teammate. I really don't know. I personally forget. But I saw Penn State logo twice, and I was like, wow. But shout out Niederhauser, still repping the We Are. And then the last one, SEC. Interested to see. It's not a gimme by any stretch of the imagination. Who are you taking?
I went Arkansas here. I just like the way they play. They got shooters. I like Acuff a lot. I don't know. Florida's like the cool pick, but Florida's lost like so many games they shouldn't have this season. And it's like, I just think Arkansas is a really good team. I think Arkansas fears the moment a little less. Like maybe Florida's just thinking about some of the bad losses they've had this year. I don't know. Really a vibes pick, probably.
I almost went with Arkansas. Then I checked both of the schedules, and I was not impressed with Arkansas when I saw who they lost to. It's like they beat Texas Tech, they beat Louisville, 2 solid wins, but they lost to a lot of good teams. And it's like, I guess the same could be said about Florida, but I just trust Florida more, and maybe that's the championship hangover pick.
No, you should trust them more. That's correct.
Yeah,
I don't know why I picked Arkansas. I just kind of felt like it, I think.
No, I wanted to pick Arkansas. I love Arkansas. Shout out Anthony Black. Like, I love Arkansas. I love the program they have. I like Calipari. I like what he's saying about all this players coming back to play, how it's unfair. I love that he's outspoken about it.
I picked them now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, you should.
Big Coach Cal guy.
And also, too, I mean, we don't have much stake right? Like, who cares who wins the SEC? Like,
It's weird, dude. I've easily watched the least SEC basketball this year out of any of the conferences, and I feel like that's never the case.
yeah,
They were just like the most amazing basketball conference last year, like incredible. I don't know. I haven't watched nearly as much SEC basketball as these other conferences. I don't know why.
Yeah, I was looking at the numbers. Xavier Lee, I knew he was doing bad. I didn't know how bad he was doing. I guess that shows you that you can't, like, shit ain't sweet when it gets to these.
Yeah.
Shit ain't sweet when you're playing Harvard in the conference championship. Like, that's not how it goes around here. And then, how do you pronounce it? Thomas Huck?
Thomas Huck. Yeah.
Hauk?
Or Huck. I don't know. It's one of the two.
One
He
of the
got
two.
the last part right, which I think is all that matters.
He's playing awesome.
Yeah. Oh, he's a beast, dude. And I love Alex Condon, the other big man. Doesn't get nearly as much love as Huck does because he's better, but Condon's really good too.
Is he hateable? Like I haven't really tapped in. Like, is he hateable?
I never got that vibe. I watched all of their games last year in that like run, and all of their games in the SEC tournament. I didn't think so at all.
All right, interesting. I don't know. I saw his picture. He gave me kind of die on a Friday type of vibe. So I thought
he does look like it, yeah.
Like, we played die on a Friday, but our die on a Friday is different than going over to Fiji and playing die on a Friday.
Yeah, no, you're right.
So he kind of gave me those vibes.
That's funny.
That's what I saw when I saw him. And then you wanted to comment on we talked a little bit about them. Dabansa not winning Player of the Year.
Yeah, I put that in the script, but like, do I? Like, what's there to even talk about? It's just stupid. Like, I get it. Like, Arizona's like maybe the best team in college basketball from somebody's view, not mine. But they had this incredible season with only 2 losses. He's like the 3rd best player on their team. That's the wildest part about it.
Yeah, that is crazy.
I just don't see it. I don't see it at all. I don't know why they picked him. I would love to talk to an Arizona fan. I can't say I know one because we live in Pennsylvania, but like, that's just despicable to me. It makes no sense.
Something I want to comment on too. It's like, you might be able to find an Arizona fan in the people we've met in college. Some of the people we've met in college, the teams that they're posting, I'm like, how the hell are you that fan? Like, I know that you came from middle of PA. Like, I don't know. I guess it's fine. I'm a Magic fan, so it's all over.
I got a couple of texts in the past day. Well, the past couple days, really, because someone mentioned to me at the bar crawl. I said on the podcast, like, I'm an Oilers fan, and I broke down like whatever moves they made, and I posted them beating the Avs last night, which was fucking awesome, by the way. And everyone's just like, dude, like, you're not an Oilers fan. And I'm like, okay, sure, like, I wasn't for a while, but like, you can't just tell me I'm not. Like, I watch their games now. I don't know. People, I think some people like took offense to it.
Bro.
Like, sorry, I'm trying to get into a sport. That's why all your sports don't fucking grow, you freaks.
Bro, I saw that story and I laughed out loud because I know you're an Oilers fan. I've always been open to the like fact that even when you were first getting into it and you kind of discredited yourself, you're like, I know I'm not a hockey. I'm like, dude, you could be whatever you want, right? I laughed out loud looking at my phone because I was like, I know so many people are swiping up on that. Like, I literally knew 3 people immediately that were gonna swipe up and text you, be like, bro, what are you posting?
Dude, you know what's weird about it? I was doing it all playoffs for the Oilers last year, like posting when they would win. And like, people were still texting me then. And it's just like, but it's not changing. Like, they're just still doing it. Like, I just think if I own season tickets at some point in my future life, like, people are still going to be like, yo, dead ass, bro, you're claiming Oilers. All right, bro, sorry.
My bad, dude. I don't know. I found that so funny, and I just like laughed and kept swiping. But I was gonna swipe up and be like, "Yo, how many hate comments you get yet?" Like,
it was a couple.
It was a couple. Could you leak some of the people? Could
2
you
were
leak
my
one
cousins.
person? Okay.
Josh.
Okay.
Like, yeah. So it is what it is. But it
Could
is
you
funny.
could you leak someone our age? Get some drama.
Let me look.
Yeah, because I have a couple names in mind. I think we have the same names. If there's nobody our age, though, I mean, I'd be surprised.
There were 2 kids from my Thon committees.
Oh.
So like, I don't know, but they're like big hockey guys. And, like, we're tight. Like, I rock with them heavy. But the one was, like, his name's Jason. He was like, dude, there's no way you just post the Oilers like you're a fan. And I was like, all right, bro. I didn't even respond.
Yeah, no, there's nothing you could say.
I just laugh reacted to the message.
Oh, I forget. Somebody swiped up on my story the other day. And they were just like, dude, what song is this? Like, not in a good way. And I'm like, dude, what are you, like, what? Like, I could post whatever song I want. Like, I don't know. I've been posting a lot of Smashing Pumpkins.
Dude, Smashing Pumpkins rip.
They rip. And people don't take me for that type of guy. Real quick, I wanted to give we're at an hour 30, which is fine. Now we're just kind of BSing if anybody's still here. Pat Gray wants to start. I don't want to air out. No, I don't know if I want to air this out. I mean, nobody's going to listen. Whatever. He wants to start a podcast about, like, not sports, like culture things, entertainment things. Cool. Pat, if you're listening to this, call to action, just do it. Because he was like, dude, I don't know if I should do it. I'm like, first of all, we majored in the same major. So we're both communications. And then second of all, anybody has a podcast nowadays. Like, they really need to make podcast equipment more expensive. Because people
got our hands on it, so yeah, you're probably right.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Somebody commented the other day on a TikTok video. They were like, dude, they're right. This is Garbage Take Pod. Like, that's all they said. And Cade just sent back a laughing emoji. Oh, we should have a whole mailbag episode of our funniest TikTok comments, because the one person said, Cade typed from his Shando Show account, and he said, yo, does dude ever stop saying like? And it was a clip of him saying like, and this dude defended him. Funny. This dude defended Cade to himself and was like, dude, what, can you do that? And Cade was like, no. That's all he said. I need it. Oh, my God.
Like, that was legendary.
And then there was the gumball picture that me and you were at the bar.
That's the funniest one. I was actually crying.
I forget what it was. It was like an easy take, too. It was like a good take, like a one that everyone...
Because we were talking about Pavia again, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was. I was
like, I don't think he's going to get drafted. Dude, that is so funny.
It was so funny. Okay, we're just BSing now. Any last thoughts about the sports world?
No, not sports, no.
Okay, none about that. Clown of the week. Feels not great without Cade. Cade kind of makes the clown of the week.
I know, this is his segment.
It really is. Like, we all came up with it, but it is Cade's segment. But I think we got to do one just because we're doing one every episode. Trying to think.
Duke's losing at halftime to Florida State.
How much?
By 1.
Okay. Still called.
Florida State's like god awful. Like, it's not acceptable.
Not acceptable. Maybe the injuries meant more. Clowns of the week. Can we go? I'm gonna say kind of a general one, kind of lame. Everyone hating on Bam Adebayo.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
What, do you have any specific? Like,
Did someone say? Was there like a famous person that said something specific about Bam Adebayo?
We could go.
There's potential there.
There is. The coaches and players said a bunch of crazy stuff.
Dude, there was this role player that said, the clip just came up, and he was like, I could have got Kobe's 81, and he was dead serious.
Try to find that.
That guy's clown of the week.
We could just say that guy's clown of the week then. Wemby might be clown of the week. He was trying to act nonchalant after. He's like, yeah, I mean, there's so many talented players in the league. I'm like, okay, just give him his praise and move.
Please.
Actually, WKD too.
Rashad McCants.
What?
I don't think he said this like recently. Look this guy up. Is he an NBA player? Like, was he just talking? Who is this guy?
Rashad McCants, American former basketball player. He played for the Kings and Timberwolves in 2008-2009. That was his last season. He played 4 years in the NBA. He finished sixth man. He finished 14th and sixth man of the year voting in 2007-2008, averaging 15.
Yeah, I don't even think the clip's new. No, I think it's like recent, but like not brand new. He said it at least last year. I think it was a year ago. He said, I could have got Kobe's 81. But it's just resurfacing now because all this Bam shit. Clown of the week. Rashad McCants.
Rashad McCants, congrats. Clown of the week, and then we'll add a side note: every NBA player or coach that is discrediting Bam Adebayo, because you should 100% be supporting that. You could have your comments. You could say, like Ime Udoka, he kind of clowned on the Wizards. You could do that while also just saying, Bam's awesome.
Yeah.
WKD, by the way, because KD gave him all the praise in the world. So that's one of the few times I'll say that. Chooch, give us some remarks.
Damn, man. If you own like an old gaming system, whether it be like a DS or like a PS Vita or PSP or even like an Xbox 360, like, dude, fire that thing back up. If you got a Wii, fire it back up and hop on Wii Sports with your homie for like just a couple games. Just get that feeling back. You know what I mean? Of just like being back in like a BO2 Zombies game on Xbox 360 or like playing Wii Tennis against someone one-on-one. Just get one more rep because you probably took your last one. And that's sad to think about. So hop on, load it up, one more game.
Love that. It's very wise of you just to go back to your youth. Tap in. Love that. Very niche. My one's going to be seize the weekend, right? Because our weekend's going to be pretty packed, right? We got New York, Big East tournament, going to be sick. It's my first college basketball game outside of Johnson College and Penn State. So this is pretty cool. Like, I haven't been to much college basketball games, especially a tournament of this stature. And then also, too, back home, which we won't be here for, presumably, is the Scranton Parade, the St. Patrick's Parade. Go seize the weekend. This is going to be a great weekend no matter where you are.
Amen, dude.
It's sad that we're going to miss it, but also, like, I went last year. It was fun. I got a taste. That's all right.
It's okay. Yeah, we'll be all right.
We'll be all right. We're going to make it. Okay. I mean, that's it. This was episode 5, season 2 of Garbage Time. Thank you guys for listening. Yeah, peace out.